All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Good day. My name is David Orekoya, and welcome to the I Am podcast.
I am.
Go.
Man, we're going to have a wonderful, exciting show today. As you can look behind me, you see all this beautiful artwork done by our one and only guest today. His name is Ezekiel Orekoya, my brother, my blood, my cousin. He's working on amazing things today, okay? We're going to dive deep into every single thing he's working on today to see exactly what inspires him as he uses his God-given talents today here. So welcome to the show, Ezekiel Orekoya. Welcome.
Beautiful setting you have here.
Thank you.
I love the ambiance, seriously.
Thank you. All right, so get started to it. Okay. Golly. Okay. That took a lot out of me. That talking took a lot. But how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. God has done too many great things for me to be feeling down. So, I'm feeling good. How about yourself, man?
I'm good. I can't complain, but let's get to it. You know why we're here today. We're here to talk about you. Talk about your talents, your gifts, and the amazing artwork you got behind us. Like, truly. LBJ, Cardi B, your inspiration. Okay, I like it. So I want to start off with a little quick quote by Pablo Picasso. It says, "Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up." So how old are you again?
I actually just turned 29.
Congratulations. So with that quote, we have a real embodiment of an artist as a child and now 29 years old, still doing what he loves and using his gifts every single day. So we glorify God's name in your life, and we thank you for what he's doing. We thank him for what he's doing in your life and when he's beginning.
Amen.
So why art?
Man, this story goes back to, I would say probably earliest memory, third, fourth grade. I could truly remember a time where I was using art, not even as an escape. It was just something that was cool to do. In elementary school, you got a talent that a lot of people come to you about, like, oh man, draw me Goku, draw me this and that. I can actually remember the earliest piece of art I can remember. It was for all those people who love video games, Dragon Ball Z Budokai. If you remember the cover, it was Goku like this and things of that sort. And I remember I drew it and a lot of people just flocked to me and I felt like, okay, this is what makes me different. And also I had a big inspiration. My older brother, and you my cousin, my older brother, grew up as the family artist. I'm talking about my parents were like, oh, this is the artist. Uncle, auntie, look out, what's my son did? My son did this. And that accent is because I'm Nigerian, y'all, so that'll come out every now and then. But, I remember them signing him up for Art Institute of Atlanta. If I remember the name, he was getting assignments. He was going to be that artist. So it's not that he ever taught me how to do it, because I'm self-taught. I truly am. But I guess watching him kind of built my passion for it. And then, of course, old people always told me I was dope for it. Yeah. So why not keep on with it, And I kid you not, going back a little bit to my memory of like Bird Apple painting his brother, there's one I remember the most. It was like a big cheetah one. I don't know if you remember it. That it was like, I don't know how big it was, but it was a cheetah. That I did?
No, that he did. That he did. And I remember I was like, okay, so that's a good insight.
I think it was a leopard.
That was it. I remember every time I come over looking at like how did he do this? Like how long did it take? So like for that to be an inspiration, that's big. That is big. Okay, that's big. So art isn't easy. Like you said it. People will look at you saying, "Hey, how do you do that? How do you do this?" So what keeps you going though? Like, because you could have stopped a long time ago. Like the quote just said, you could have been stopped. And look behind us now. You not only owned your art, but this is dope.
Okay. For those who don't know, I did stop. Actually, I can remember when I used to live together. In college, I did not draw any of that time. If you can remember, I was always playing piano because that's another one of my passions. I'd sing with the guitar or I'd work out. Art for me, I would say after I graduated college of December 2018, I moved to Savannah, where I stayed there for about a year. And if you know anything about Savannah, it's a real artsy kind of town. Yeah. At the time, I was working at a paint shop where a lot of, artists or decorators or different kind of contractors would come in and share stories, but there was SCAD's Art Institutes of Atlanta. The main location, I believe, is in Savannah. So anybody in Georgia who loves art, who wants to make it a real career, studies there. And I remember students would always come in, and I'd always say, "Hey, man, I'm an artist too." They'd be like, "Man, what you got?" And at the time, all I remember, I had little drawings that I did years ago that I would just pull up on my phone. And it'll be like, "Oh my goodness, you go to school for this?" "Nah, I got a business management degree."
Yeah.
Oh man, this is amazing. This is amazing. Have you ever thought of putting color? At that time, I was legit only using pencil and paper. And even that time, a lot of people, I think one of your friends would even ask me, "Hey, can you draw this and this for me to make a little bit of change?" Because eventually one day I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the 9-to-5 world.
And I remember that. I think it was like I forgot her name, but one of my friends, she asked for a portrait for her boyfriend back when we were in college. Remember, she was like, he did great, and y'all remember you mailed it to them because they weren't even around in Atlanta. So it just shows you like people
and that's
willing to pay for it.
Yeah, man, that's just dedication. And to this day, whoever I've ever done a picture for, to this day, I've never had them say, "Can you fix this? Can you do that?" It's always been wow and the majesty of like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." So in Savannah, I remember I was finna move out because I was like, I think that was right before COVID. I was like, first of all, Savannah's way too small. And I'm sorry for anybody who lived there. I'm not trying to talk smack about where you live, but Savannah's very, very small. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize how big Atlanta was. So I moved back. Yeah. But before that time, when I was working in those paint stores, there was somebody who gifted me an expensive colored pencil set. If anybody that knows Prismacolors, they are not cheap. And I probably held on to it for a few months, until I was like, man, I'm bored. Let me draw this picture of Janae Aiko. That was the exact picture.
I remember that one.
And when I completed it, mind you, I completed it in like a few hours.
Really?
When I did it, when I tell you the feeling that came over me, I was like, oh, we on to something here. Oh, people gonna go crazy about this. Oh, this about to go viral. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, there's the algorithm you got to beat in every social media thing, but that was the first moment I was like, "Whoa, this is going to take me different." And even with that same picture, I think on Instagram, Black Art Expo, you guys check that out. There are a Black artist page where they represent and they just post different. They'll ask you first, "Hey, can we post your picture?" They asked me, and that was my first big moment that I was like, "Oh, people are paying attention."
Why her? Like, did you just pick her, or like something came to your mind? Like, why'd Janae?
Another inspiration of mine is music, and I was probably listening to a song of hers.
I like that. So let's go into a new segment real quick.
Okay.
So when you start creating, when you start thinking about things to put together, I know I told you to bring some things to set. How do you start that space? How do you get into that space, your realm, to kind of start creating what you want to see, or kind of thinking about it before you put it down? Like what comes together in here first?
Well, if it's not the form of money via commissions, paint sessions, live painting sessions, what gets me into that sense of space is, literally music. Like when I tell you, so I don't really listen to a lot of rap because the messages aren't always where you want it to be.
100%.
I listen to a lot of Afro beats, so a lot of Rima, Burna Boy, a lot of Fire DML, a lot of all these other artists, because the message could be inspiring. It could be about love. It could be about. It's never about just the booty that they doing now.
Yeah.
So there's different ways. Just the music kind of flows through me. So even with music, I play piano. I play guitar. I even dabble with harmonica. So that's just a lot of different things that just kind of moves me to a different space. It's my safe haven. There's times where maybe even if I don't feel like painting, I'm gonna hit these keys and play a nice song, a nice tune or something like that. Or I'm gonna sing with the guitar.
Okay.
And I cannot sing, so.
So what are the essentials? So I know we got some things here today. So like, do you always kind of like bring it with you wherever you are to kind of say, okay, I'm about to start a new painting. What puts it together?
So the things I brought aren't anything special. I'm a real genuine, realistic person. I don't need these big projectors or anything.
I stole this from GQ.
I got my headphones. For those who don't know, this is a JVC, cheap headphones. You probably get these for $25, $20. Got my AirPods if I want, my ears to feel light when listening to music.
Okay, Afrobeat.
These paintbrushes aren't anything specific. Anytime legit I start a painting, I buy a new one, and it doesn't even need to be this brand. I legit buy so many different brushes. Because when I'm done with a painting, I usually toss them out or I don't feel like cleaning it. So it's something that I even need to do better as a artist. Because when I'm done with a painting, it's like, what do I need these for? They're dirty. I just throw it away. And you could really use a cell phone or anything like that. But when I have an idea in my head, like references or maybe things that are trending during that time, I got my handy dandy regular iPad.
Okay.
So nothing special. I work from, when it comes to the sizes of paintings I do, I work from 11 by 14, which is no bigger than that iPad, all the way to 30 by 40 on the regular, which are the sizes that are behind me. For commissions, I can do way bigger, and I'm actually about to start a process where I start doing murals and more live paintings and live paintings at weddings.
Yeah, so far you've done a lot of dope ones. My brother's wedding, Damola's wedding. Like I've seen you kind of started doing a lot of weddings nowadays. So kind of like, did they come to you, or you just like how did that come together? Because you've been out there a lot, like painting for people.
Man, that's straight off the love and hustle. Okay. I didn't get paid for those. Really? So that's one thing. With Damola's wedding, that's something that I offered to do for Damola. Because I'm an artist out here and I'm trying to gain traction under my feet, I realize you do have to take those kind of sacrifices. And like, nobody in the world is just going to say, I have a talent and everybody listens to them. Correct. You have to have physical pieces, something that's tangible to say, okay, I trust you for this job. For something as big as weddings, where a lot of people come to, especially Nigerian or African weddings, there's going to be a lot of eyes, and I really did get a lot of commissions from that. So when people say, how much did they pay to do this? I gave them a number, But that's just straight off the love I have for Damola and Aquila, and even your brother, my cousin Emmanuel, and Kennedy. That's something that Emmanuel came to me. He was like, if you want to, I know it's a lot. I know it's, it's your passion. I definitely don't want to fool with it. And that's something I respect.
Yeah.
But even if you didn't ask me, I was going to do it.
But speaking of that respect factor, let me give you yours right here. Give you your flowers. Because what you said was you did it out of love. You did it because you wanted to kind of put yourself out there and say, you know what, forget the money. Yeah. If I get myself out there, the rest of it will come together. That's something that not a lot of people can say in their talents, that is like, okay, I could do this. How can I find money now? I could do this. How do I get paid now? So you saw it as an advantage of, you know what? Hey, I may not get paid, but I love these people. I love doing this. So let me do it for them and let everybody else in the world see it. Respect. And everything comes back together. So that's putting your pride aside, putting everything else aside and say, you know what? Let me own on to my talent and see where it takes me. And I remember at the wedding for Damola, literally walking up into the hall. It's the first thing you see. And then people are walking in, I don't even know. I'm looking at it like, wait a minute, who did this? And I remember you were like, I did that. And people that don't even know you were right there looking at it like, oh my God, you were lit that day. And everybody's surrounding it. I'm talking about like when they walk into the hall for the wedding, it's the first thing they see. And I feel like every single person stopped and stared. And that's what art is supposed to be about. It's supposed to basically bring out emotion, bring out something from the viewers. You shouldn't just walk past the art. You're supposed to stop, look at it. Like I'm not artistic, but I love art. Like I love looking at art because, like I said, the art itself is to bring out emotion from people. Either love it, either hate it, but something should be coming out of individuals' artwork. And I feel like you did that. Literally at that wedding, everybody was looking at it. My brother's wedding, everybody was looking at it. So respect, for real.
And that's just, and you touched on something like the way people feel when they're looking on something, looking at things like that. Art is more than just what you can put on paper or a canvas or whatever you want to do. Art is dancing, art is singing, art is rapping.
100%.
Art is the same emotions you feel when somebody does a dance move you ain't never seen before. They pop locking and you're like, oh, I ain't never seen that. It made you feel something. It made you feel good. I've always believed there's no talent in this world that you do for yourself. Whatever you showcase, whatever God gives you, a talent, a gift, it's meant to be showcased to other people. Amen, it's meant to inspire. even a way of speaking is art.
Yeah.
The way people speak, you think, not to get political, but
go ahead.
But there's a reason why people love Obama. There was his charisma, his way of speaking, and things of that sort. Then when you change it up and you get other presidents, not gonna say their name, but when you get presidents that come after, it's like that's not what I was really used to. I was digging the whole, bold and respectable, and now we're bringing it back down, and that's art. I don't like the way this person make me feel through his words.
I can't remember the exact quote or who said it, but I remember reading something that said, our body, your embodiment is art. Like the way you live your life should be a portrait for others to see. So like you said, like literally somebody just talking, that is art. How do they express themselves? It could be any single thing. Fashion, how you dress when you walk out the door, that is art. But one thing I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. Yes, you talked about in your I forgot what you call that, the brushstrokes, about throwing a lot of things away. So for somebody starting this, somebody getting into art, into painting, into drawing, things like that, what would you say, like, how do you save the expenses? How do you not go overboard? Like, how much do you spend on this right now? That's what I want to know, like, how expensive everything we see behind us, as beautiful as they are, that you put into it?
Well, first things first, space. Space is everything. You can't buy a whole bunch of supplies and not have a place to put it in. So first, figure out and be aware of how much space you have. Right now, I'm not in the biggest, place right now, so I am running out of space in that sort. But when it comes to, my materials and things of that sort, the number two step I would say is save your brushes. Don't be like me. You can wash out your brushes with soap and water. You can use mineral spirits. There's literally ways to save your brushes. I'm just, that way. But definitely save your money that way. On average, on a 30 by 40 canvas or something like this, I go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They usually cost me, if they're not running a deal, they usually cost me around $60 to $65 per. So
you ever go to like Michael's or anything like that?
Oh yeah, Michael's is my main store. And if Michael's ain't got it, then I hop over to Hobby Lobby. But like if I do like 16 by 20s, like that is, I think I have the size with me. 16 by 20 is a size like this.
Okay.
And these I can get in a 5-pack for $15, but even then, there's a lot of different things that I paint on. Even as Damola's wedding, you remember it was on a big piece of wood.
Huge.
It was on a big piece of wood. So I even do artwork on wood sometimes and things of that sort. So there's definitely ways that you can save. But really, if I'm a beginner artist or painter or whatever, I would not get expensive tools.
Okay.
It's not the tools that make you these great paintings and things of that sort. It's the skill level. It's you. The same $15 I spent on these cheap brushes, the same $15 I'm gonna put on a canvas and sell for $1,500.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like there's levels to it because when you first started, you didn't go this big. Remember, you did a painting for me when I graduated with my bachelor's the first time.
Yep.
And it was me, literally my graduation picture. I still got it on my wall in my office at home. And it was regular, I don't know what kind of standard it was, but it was regular one. So I feel like a lot of people should understand that, before you could run, you got to crawl.
Yeah.
Before you could walk, crawl, things like that. So like start small, kind of give yourself that experience to mess up a little bit. And then you go this big. And when something this big, you start messing up. How do you come back from it? Let's be real.
So paint, specifically paint, is something that's very, very forgiving. I love paint because you can't mess up.
I like that.
If I mess up, and there has been times where I've messed up on certain paintings and whatever, and the best part about it is that you can alter it. You can legit paint over it. That's one of the things that I think a lot of people miss. A lot of people say, just paint a dog, just paint this. Can you paint my cat? It's not about it's the process that matters. And for a lot of these process, it's because it's so healing and so forgiving and it's your safe haven. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like, oh gosh, I messed up, so I got to start all over. It's, oh dang, I messed up, I can fix this.
Okay, so transition to our next segment, you talk about the process.